Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't going.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking nothing, but I tune every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, don't roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. This is our Sunday morning show with me, Classic Mike. It's Sunday, December 10th, week 14 of the NFL season. Excited to get to all things that have happened since our Friday show. I'm sorry that I couldn't be here for Friday show. I was out in the city with my wonderful wife enjoying a wonderful concert over at Webster Hall. So got to watch Ashley McBride, which if you guys aren't in the country, you probably won't know who she is. But wonderful show. Had a great time out in the city for the day. So today we're going to be going over our week 14 start sit questions throughout the show. So make sure you guys throw them in the chat. I already see a bunch popping in there as we speak. Today we're also going to go over actives and inactives prior to game time at 11:30. And then I will give you some of my DFS value picks for those interested in DFS as well. So make sure you guys keep those questions coming throughout the show, and I will get to them as we go. Also, make sure you guys, if you're new to the show, we have the shows lineups down at the bottom when we're on and all that fun stuff. So make sure you guys check us out. I'm going to get into the questions before I get into all the news and notes. We got a ridiculous amount of news and notes to get through, but I'm going to go to you guys first. So we got Smokey the Cat in the house. What's going on, man? He goes, "What's up, everybody? Quarterfinals in my home league." Same here, man. I think it's quarterfinals in a lot of people's leagues this week. He goes, Taysom out, Conklin, or wait, why are you taking Taysom isn't out? Not that I'm aware of. Am I missing something? Did I miss something in the beginning? Taysom Hill is out? Huh. He's questionable. I didn't see that he was out yet. But anyway, so Taysom Hill, as you say, out. Then we got Conklin or Otten. Also sit one, Gibbs, Jacobs, Bijan, or Breece Hall. Jesus Christ. Might as well just play all of them. I'm going to have to go with Otten. Just better conditions. That's going to kind of be the theme of the day. Also, if I'm going to have to sit one of them, I feel like it's going to have to be I feel like it has to be Gibbs. And I don't even know if I should honestly, it's so tough to say because you have so many great options. Bijan and Breece Hall, they're going to be in a really, for them, it's good game script. It's the concept that it's going to be a crappy game. It's basically going to run the ball. Like, there's not much you can do. You can really just run the ball and hold on to the ball. That's all you can really do in that particular game. Yeah, I feel like Gibbs is the one you have to sit out of those guys. If Arthur Smith is smart, he'll keep it on the ground with both Bijan and, like Cordero and stuff like that, and just run the damn ball and just keep rotating everybody. But yeah, that's what I would do in this matchup. If you don't like Bijan in this, I would go Gibbs. That would be the caveat. I understand Bijan is tough to he's really tough to trust. And the game against the Bears could go either way, and game script could be good for Gibbs in either shape, way, or form. So you know what? I'm actually going to sit Bijan. So let's go Gibbs, Jacobs, Breece Hall. You kind of made me change my own mind, so that's great. Neanderthal, what's going on, brother? He goes, Mike, I won the ring. I can't believe it. Good for you, brother. I'm so happy for you. So for those who don't know, we gave away our ring for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. and Neanderthal won it. So congrats to you, my friend. I'm glad that you were able to win that ring. Been around for a while, good friends of the show, so I'm really happy that you won that. So congrats on that, man. Marcos, what's going on, man? He goes, good morning. Good morning to you, Marcos. He goes, need help, please. Which two would you play? Eckler, Ridley, or DeAndre Hopkins? Ew. Sorry to say that, but ew. So I got news this morning, which is kind of sad to hear because Eckler's kind of been underproduced in the last 3 weeks. Chargers basically said Eckler is going to be splitting carries today. Well, this is as per Ian Rappaport. He says Eckler's going to be splitting carries today with Josh Kelly and Isaiah Spiller. The team is expected to ride the hot hand. So you have to hope and pray that he does well. It's Denver. Denver's actually been a lot better against the run as of late. Let me look at my numbers. They are ninth best against the running back. So it's one of those things where maybe Eckler might not be the best play. I'm not really confident about Calvin Ridley with Trevor Lawrence being hampered, even if Lawrence starts. Lawrence is going to be more of a pocket passer today. He usually does well in the pocket. He does well getting out of the pocket. He's only going to be really able to run straight if he's going to run anywhere. So that's where I have to be a little hesitant on Ridley. I think the safer floors for both these guys are Hopkins and Eckler, and that's saying a lot, to be fair. The Tennessee game going against Miami, I mean, he's going to be going against Ramsey most likely. And, Will Levis has been underwhelming as of late, but Hopkins is still able to go up and catch it when needed. I feel like the safer options are Eckler and Hopkins, but Ridley could do well in this particular scenario. But with Kirk out, it makes me question a couple things. They've been using Parker Washington a little bit more like we saw in last week. And God forbid Beathard gets in or like something happens where he re-aggravates. I'd rather have somebody like Eckler and Hopkins. So, and especially for PPR. So, yeah, go Eckler and Hopkins. Perry goes, London or Garrett Wilson? Drop Walker for McKinnon. Really? Oh no. Do not drop Walker. If you can pick up McKinnon on his with somebody else, that I would do. Jaden Reed he's good and he should be in a good spot going forward. But dropping Walker's a little bit tough to do. I understand Zach Charbonnet's been involved more. They're both kind of banged up. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think I would drop Walker. I would drop someone else that you can afford to drop. Walker is not the one I would drop. London or Garrett Wilson? I don't like saying it, but I would go with Drake London today. So the theme of the day today is the weather. For those that are on the East Coast, you are experiencing a really, really bad rain, just rain coming through. It literally is taking up the whole East Coast, up and down the whole thing. It just went through Tennessee last night. They had tornado strength winds. It killed 6 people. It's bad. I looked at the weather prior to game time. It's going to be 30-mile-an-hour winds at the Jet game. Sustained winds, not just like, once in a while a gust of wind. 30-mile-an-hour winds throughout the game. Now, I understand if you've ever been to MetLife is huge. And it actually does well with blocking a lot of the wind. It really does. But it is a kind of a swirl wind in there. So I don't know how well they're going to be able to throw the ball in the stadium. It's anything over 20, I pretty much go, I don't know. And then there's going to be 50-mile-an-hour gusts in that. So I'm not really big, and it's going to be raining the whole game. So I don't know how much I trust the passing game for both these quarterbacks. As much as I like Stroud, I really like Stroud more than I'm a little disappointed in my Dynasty League. I didn't draft him, but because I had the opportunity. But honestly, he's going to have a rough day. I think both teams focus on the run and defense. Both teams have stellar defenses against the pass. I think they're going to just, Jets are a little bit better against the run. But I think they're going to focus on the run today for both teams. I think it's just going to be Breece Hall and Devin Singletary. I think Devin Singletary is going to be heavily used. I think they're going to, of course, use Dameon Pierce as well. But I think it's going to be a lot of check down for the passing game for the Texans. So that's where I would really focus for those games. So unfortunately, I will have to say Drake London just because of the fact they're playing in a dome. When you're playing in a dome, it changes the whole narrative and it makes things a little bit easier. They're playing Tampa today. So Tampa's kind of beat up on defense. So I can see that happening. So Uno Gas, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? He goes, Perry Williams. We got, what up, Mikey boy? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a great day. Like I said, there's all that going on. Sorry, getting tons of stuff coming in. We got pick 2, Carr, Josh Dobbs, Tommy DeVito, and Joe Flacco. I think I'll roll with Josh Dobbs and Joe Flacco for this one if you're going to pick 2. Josh Dobbs, going against the Raiders. Max Crosby's a little banged up. He is the heart and soul of that particular defense, and he's playing through some stuff. If you looked at the knee, kind of weird. For me, yeah, Dobbs, I mean, he hasn't shown that he's done well the last few weeks, but you've been able to see him do well outside of that. On top of that, he gets Justin Jefferson back, so this should be a decent game for him. Joe Flacco has just been doing well running the offense. The game is, we saw what Jake Browning did to the Jags recently. Jags have one of the better pass defenses in the league, or at least one of the better pass rushes in the league. So it's a little hard to see that happen, that they put up so much against them. But I think Flacco can do the same here. I know Cooper's the only one that we're kind of unsure about, but he still has a lot of good offensive weapons around him. Jerome Ford is probably my favorite pick of the day. If you want to go with his birthday narrative, his birthday is then. A buddy of mine, Dustin, not this Dustin of the show, but another Dustin that I know, told me that he did the touchdown narrative or the birthday narrative for, I didn't even realize it was Hunter Henry's birthday that day. And 2 touchdowns, the whole thing. Sometimes they really do work. So just keep that in mind. So Dobbs and Flacco for me. So Perry goes, why trust Walker in a committee with the worst playoff schedule? Just scared to start him. I don't blame you. I just honestly, dropping him is hard to do. He's a lead guy on a team that likes to run the ball, and he's just a good running back. It's hard to find a good running back these days, regardless of what system they're in. A lot of these running backs are in 2-back systems. It's very rare to find anybody that's by themselves that gets 90% of the run. The only guys that I can tell you off the top of my head that have that is like Zach Moss at the moment. Like, there is no one else. Like, I can't really think of anybody else that gets 90% of the touches. Well, not touches, but 90% of the snaps for a running back that actually does that well with it. So, I think that just give it a second. Don't drop him outright. There's no point in dropping him outright. Picking up McKinnon for a week is silly to drop Walker. I mean, we think that Isaiah Pacheco might be out for a few weeks, but I don't think that it's worth selling off pieces at this point in the season to go grab somebody that we're unsure of. And the fact that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be splitting carries with he's going to be splitting carries with Jerick McKinnon. So you're going to have 2 guys like that. You'll also have, they're not going to be placing Isaiah Pacheco on IR. So they expect him to return sooner rather than later, as per Ian Rappaport. So, I mean, you have to think of those things too. It's just not worth it. if you have a guy to drop him that, a guy that's lower on the totem pole. Walker is kind of at the top of the totem pole for me. I'm not dropping him unless I have a better or a worser asset to drop. That's what I would do. Warrior Loft, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. He goes, we're going to be talking about this a little more, and I love it. So he goes, with Pacheco out, would you start CEH over Mostert, pure volume? So they're going to be splitting carries. I see it being sort of like a 60-40 split, with McKinnon taking most of the passing downs, of course. You're going to kind of just see him in his normal role. I think he's going to be in the Pacheco role. So, yes, he might see a little bit more of the carries than McKinnon. But over Mostert, who's facing the Tennessee Titans, I mean, that's where my line is. The Tennessee Titans they're still doing very well against the run. They are still 13th against running backs since week 8. Now, a lot of the things I'm going to give you are since week 8. I want to give you guys a better window. Teams can change from, week 1. And this, you can see, Denver is all the way back up to 9. They used to be 30. So just 32, I think, because of the Dolphins. But now with everything adjusted, I brought it to week 8 so that we have a better perspective of how teams are. Not a problem, Marcos. Great to have you here. If you have any other questions, throw them in the chat. So I think I might start CEH, but Mostert's hard to sit. I know that Devin Achane has kind of leaked in, and they're using Jeff Wilson too. That's a three-back system at this point. So CH isn't a horrible option. I'm not going to say that. But would I rather have that against Buffalo? And Buffalo is right now 19th against the run. They're kind of letting up a little bit. I think I might do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. He goes, Mostert has been the number 1 running back, and Achane, fantasy anchor all year. Don't be too cute. Just ride with him. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I think I'm going to go CH. He is a very consistent back. He gets a lot of goal line carries. That's the only thing that's kind of scaring me a little bit, but I think CH should be involved a little bit more this week, or a lot more this week. So Perry goes, I think Rachaad White is a lot of teams' low-key MVP and top 10 fantasy guy with his ADP and bring available in waivers. And he was available in waivers in some leagues. Yeah, honestly, I'm very surprised to see the numbers with Rachaad White. When I did, I was like, holy crap, he's actually doing really well. It's mostly volume, but he's getting opportunity through the passing game because Baker loves to pass, just basically check down. And knows that he can, handle that. I really like Rachaad White. I was a little disappointed that I didn't try to trade for him when he was a little bit, he was less valuable. So yeah, doing real well. Really, really for those that have him, good for you. So news and notes for those that aren't aware or those that weren't around on Friday, we have a few players that are listed as out. Dalton Schultz for the Texans, he will be out today. Devin White, Jamal Dean for the Buccaneers, they're going to both be out today. Jonathan Taylor is going to be out for a couple more weeks. Frank Ragnow, Ekimus St. Brown for the Bears. Hayden Hurst, sad story, man. Getting amnesia on top of all that. I feel so bad for the guy. He does so much for mental illnesses and stuff like that. And it's just a shame that, he's sort of falling into that after he's had a concussion and stuff like that. So I feel so bad for him. He's such a great guy, gives a lot. So good luck in recovery there, Hayden. I wish you the best. Hope to get to meet you one day. Really great guy. Really great. Make sure you guys, if you're into giving this time of year, look up the Hayden Hurst Foundation, one of the best out there. A lot of people in this particular community tend to donate to that. So make sure you guys check out that particular charity. Isaiah Pacheco, who we talked about, he'll be out today. Josh Palmer, is going to be out. He should be coming back soon. Ray McLeod and Christian Watson for the Packers is going to be out, already ruled out, which is unfortunate for them. Mason Crosby for the Rams. He was picked up by the Rams and Joe Flacco are both going to be elevated. Both are going to be playing today, just so you guys are aware. Jaguars are planning to start Trevor Lawrence today versus the Browns, but he needs to do a workout. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. In the next 10 minutes, we'll get an answer to that decision. So he's only 6 days removed from the high ankle sprain. If you guys saw it, it didn't look good. I got a little nervous on that play. Honestly, I was watching it on a lower volume, and I wasn't sure if like a whistle was blown and, he was a little bit deep into the play. But end of the day, it didn't look good. So just be aware. Breece Hall is coming off questionable. He has an ankle injury of his own, but he's expected to play as per Adam Schefter. Samaje Perine, he's expected to play, so I'm not too stressed about that. Travis Etienne, he's questionable due to a rib injury. He's expected to play today versus the Browns. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet are both listed as questionable. They're both going to play today, so keep an eye on that. Chris Olave, he was listed as questionable for Sunday's game due to an illness, and he's expected to play. He's been under the weather really bad with the flu, but he should be good to go today. Rashid Shaheed is listed as questionable with a thigh injury. He's not going to play today, so just be aware of that as well. Taysom Hill is listed as questionable due to a foot injury and a left hand injury. He is not expected to play, so I thank you for that one. Who said that one before? Smokey the Cat. Way to get ahead of me. I didn't realize that I usually read this now. I copy and paste this in so that I have a better idea when I'm reading. But yeah, I didn't realize that he is not expected. I read this really quickly in the morning. But yeah. Juwan Johnson. He is listed as questionable quad injury. He's expected to play. So I see a little bit of an uptick for Juwan today just because of who's in and who's out. He should be the tight end that should see a lot today. Raiders, Max Crosby, he's listed as questionable. Told insiders this week that he'll play. I've never had if I've got a heartbeat. I love him, man. Love that guy. Love the guy a lot. And then, of course, the Bills are going to be getting back Dawson Knox. So just be aware of that. I don't think it's going to really affect Dalton Kincaid. I think it just changes up how, who's out there. So Neanderthal goes flex 1. Adam Thielen, Khalil Herbert, Romeo Doubs, or Jaden Guyton. That's a great question. I think I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs here with Christian with Christian Watson out going against Giants. Giants aren't that great on defense lately, unfortunately. Giants are roughly, 30th against the wide receiver since week 8. I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs. Adam Thielen, unfortunately, has just been he fell off the face of the earth, and it's sad. I had a lot invested in him. He's been the guy that I've been focused on the last few weeks. Saints are actually 3rd against the wide receiver as of late. So it's one of those things where I'm going to not go with him. Herbert has the better floor of the group because the Lions haven't been great against the run. But for me, I think I'm going to go Romeo Doubs. Marcos, I have the exact problem in my league. I had Herbert. I saw what Roschon Johnson could do, and I dropped Herbert for Roschon. I think they're going to ride the heavy hand. It's that time of year where they're going to try to get the most out of their rookies, especially when they're out of it. When you're out of it, you're pretty much like, let's see what we got with these guys. And that's what they're going to do. Lions are 18th best against the running back since week 8. So for me, I feel like they will do very well against they're not going to do well against the run, but they give up a lot to rushing quarterbacks. So for me, that means a lot of runs outside. Roshan can fit that. I know they're going to just keep rotating in and out, so it's hard to trust. But Roshan got most of the snaps last week with Deontay Foreman out, so I do see Roshan Johnson doing it. Don't worry. Don't worry, Mike. The Giants' day is coming soon. I hope so. We can only pray. Not much going on with that. I don't see that happening. Just getting word that Trevor Lawrence will play today, as per Peter Schrager. He will play. So Trevor Lawrence will be playing today. Interesting. Looks like Justin Jefferson's good to go as well. I know, he's questionable, but he's playing today. Yeah, Jacksonville, the Jaguars just posted it. He's going to play and start today. Good for him. He's a tough dude, man. Tough kid. So, no, okay. Get out of this freaking – stop it. Stop it. Belichick is not coming back to New York. I'll take him as a D coordinator. I just – the thing with Belichick – coming back to New York. Now, I know that it's his bucket list team to come back to. So if he comes back to New York, I'd be happy to have him. Believe me, he's one of the best coaches in Giants history. But it's one of those things where I just don't see it being. I just don't see it as a good thing. Like it's whatever. Like I just don't see it happening though. Just got some news. Vita Vea is going to be out today for the Bucs. That's huge for guys like Bijan, Tyler Algier, Cordero. I mean, he pretty much changes the run defense for Atlanta, or not Atlanta, the Bucs. But like I was so pissed off at myself last week. I sat Chuba Hubbard and I saw the whole defense out. I'm like, you got to play Chuba Hubbard. And honestly, you should be playing Chuba if you have the opportunity. But yeah, that's going to be a rough one. Oh, I have a buddy. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Buddy of mine I talked with this morning. He asked me about this particular question he was talking to me about one of the other scenarios he has. And he's like, so Ray goes, "What's up, Mike? Fields or CJ Stroud?" I'm going to go with Fields here. And normally I would never say that. You guys have been here. You guys have heard me 100 times how much I'm not a big fan of Fields. Today is the one day and the one exception. If the game wasn't played in New Jersey against the Jets with crappy weather, I'd be the first guy to tell you to play Stroud. But since this game is going to be played in very bad weather, 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds on top of 50-mile-an-hour gusts, on top of it raining consistently in MetLife, which is never fun. I've been there when it's rained, torrential downpour. It's not fun. It is not fun. I'm going to go Fields here. The Lions defense has been vulnerable the last few weeks. Right now, I pulled, like I said, from week 8. And Lions are actually 30th against the QB. So for the last 6 weeks, they have been 30th against the QB. Yeah, you're going Fields here. Going Fields. I'm in the same boat, man. I have to win out the next 2 weeks. And I need two people above me to lose for 2 weeks. So I have a different, I have to win every single game the next 2 weeks in this league. And I'm facing one of the best, highest scoring guys in the league. So this is going to be a rough week. He already had freaking Zeke Elliott go off for 24 points. So I'm not thrilled. So Ray goes, Moss or Hopkins? Full Moss. Don't even think twice about it. Moss, he gets 90% of the carry, or he's on the field 90% of the time and touches the ball, I think 70% of the time. Moss. Hopkins, I don't trust at all. Going against Jalen Ramsey, going against Xavier Howard, one of the two, it doesn't really matter. I think that game is going to be tougher than people think it is. So Perry says, I've been here for 3 years and I can say there is no other live stream I flock to faster. This is like a conversation between friends. Keep it up, Mike. Yeah, man. Not a problem. That's a lot of my conversations come from that. I pretty much argue this with my friends all the time and they tell me I'm stupid. So it's great to come out on here and, express those particular things. So apparently the Browns won't make starting QB announcements before the game, but Flacco is first in the warmups. Yeah, it's Flacco. Just people are trying to be cute here. Tyler Boyd is active. He was questionable rolling into the game. Saints inactives. Okay, so Taysom Hill will be inactive with Rashid Shaheed, Kendrick Miller, and a few others. So that's significant. Alvin Kamara, load him up. Chris Evans is going to be out today for the Bengals. Everyone else is there. Ooh, Denzel Ward is going to be out for the Browns. Amari Cooper is playing today. I was a little unsure about him today, but Amari Cooper will play today. James Dean, Keyshawn Vaughn, Vita Vea, Devin White, they're all going to be inactive today. That's kind of significant. Well, Trevor Lawrence isn't inactive, but they said he will start, so we already know that. Ravens, no one significant that I can see on here. Bears have Equus St. Brown. He'll be out. Colin Johnson will be out. No one else that is really to note that we know about. I can never say his name. Okaday. Sorry. Okaday, their one of their corners is going to be out. AJ Tyrell will play, so the other side. So Tampa, that's going to be a fun one. So Evans and Chris Godwin should be good plays today. Frank Ragnow is going to be out for the Lions. That's unfortunate, but he's been out for most of the year. Mike Boone's going to be out. Dalton Schultz for the Texans. They're both out today. Okay. Still getting a couple of new, couple of little news and notes coming through as we go. Okay. So, like I said, right now, the theme of the day is weather, and it's mostly in the Baltimore versus the Rams and Jets versus the Texans. Everywhere else is pretty there's some win in Chicago and Cleveland, but beyond that, it's really just the aftermath of what we saw. So Ian Rappaport saying Noah Brown is active. So is Amari Cooper, Tyler Boyd, Travis Etienne. We already knew those. Denzel Ward, Taysom Hill are going to be out today. So that's good. I mean, now we have a little bit of a better understanding of what's going on. All righty. Hopefully, let me see. Yep. Usually when I get that means it's the end of the actives and inactives, which is great. So we're going to move right along. We're going to go to our DFS value picks for the day. We have the quarterbacks lined up here. We got a lot of great quarterbacks today. We got, of course, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, who face off tonight at 4 o'clock right here. Brock Purdy right underneath that, which is great to see. Really happy for him. He's been doing real well lately. We had a big debate in our group chat for our Dynasty League about good old Brock Purdy. But I'll leave that for later. If you want to move down to more valued options, I think I'm going to go right here to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has been playing pretty well as of late. He's not playing out of his mind, but he's playing a lot better. Chargers are susceptible against the pass recently. Okay, so good question here. Stroud or Stafford? Ew. I'm sorry, brother. That's a tough one right there. Wait, Tyler Higbee is going to be inactive. Oh, Mason Crosby is going to be. Oh, wow. So Mason Crosby, who they brought up, is going to be inactive. Okay. Those are two things I wasn't aware of. Terrace Marshall is inactive today. Oh, no. Shame. Brees Hall, he's active. Okay, so nothing outside normal. So Stafford or Stroud, that's a tough one for me. I think I'm going to lean Stroud just because he has better legs than Stafford, but he has the tougher Well, no, they're both tough matchups. I think I'm going to go Stroud, but very, yeah, sorry, Stroud. So, Mr. Pennyfeather, what's going on, brother? He goes, sit one, Kamara, Gibbs, A-Chain, or Bijan. Oh, Lord. We just had a similar question. I'm playing Kamara. I'm playing A-Chain. It's between Gibbs and Bijan. You know what? I'm going to go Gibbs. I convinced myself to go Gibbs. Gibbs is a little bit more involved in the offense. Arthur Smith hates fantasy football, and I don't think he really gives two craps if Bijan plays, even though he's the best freaking player on the team. I'm going to just stick to the narratives here and go with Gibbs. It's a decent matchup for them right now. Bears are actually, hold on. Let me get the right numbers here. Bears are 15th against the running back. You know, I like that a little bit better. But Bijan is in a better environment now that they lost Villa. I want to say Bijan though. No, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. Go with Gibbs. Even though, like I said, the caveat to that is Vita Vea is out, as well as Devin White, Jamal Dean. Those are three huge players on their defense. Just that caveat. And it's so basically what I'm trying to say is if you're dropping one of the two, it's Gibbs or Bijan. It's really who you trust more. I think Gibbs is going to be a little bit more involved just because he has been. Like, that's just their makeup to run the ball. They run with the two. But there's a three-headed monster in Atlanta, and I think they're going to just run all three. So it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, freaking Terrace Marshall. Let's go Ray. He goes Addison or Noah Brown. I'm going Addison. Right now, if you're going to give me two guys from two different games in two different environments, I'm picking the Dome. I'm telling you, it's bad out here. I'm on Long Island, which is farther out east than all of them. So I'm not even getting what they're getting in New Jersey yet. It is raining here right now. It's not windy, but it will be. I've gotten tons of alerts from a ton of people. A buddy of mine posted today on Twitter and said, like, the Jets forecast right now is 5 mile an hour, or at MetLife, it's 5 mile an hour or 8 mile an hour, or 5 to 8 mile an hour winds. And I sat there, I went, you're freaking crazy. And I looked up AccuWeather at 1:00 for the Jets at MetLife Stadium, and it was 38 mile an hour winds with 50 mile an hour gusts. I'm telling you now, there's just no point in playing those guys. If they go off, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that is a huge factor to me. So Neanderthal goes, got a lot of questions today. Then keep them coming, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys. I'm not here for me. My wife will tell you that I love listening to myself talk, but I don't like to talk all the time. That's a lie. So he goes, Brandon Ayuk, Collins, DJ Moore, Gabe Davis, Calvin Ridley. So I'm going to go in this particular, you only need two. I'm going to go Ayuk and DJ Moore. Those are the two I'm picking. I want Ayuk. I chose my Dynasty team, or the orphan team that was offered to me. I remember Rasta came up to me. He was trying to sell the team. It was really funny because he's a sales guy. And he's trying to sell me the team. And I look at it at face value. I look at all the players that I have, and I'm like, Trey Lance, Kyler Murray, like two guys that I just automatically, if I see them, I just automatically, hate life. And this is in the off season. And then all of a sudden, I see Brandon Ayuk, and I'm like, done. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I don't have him in another league. I don't, and I wanted him from the start. I thought he was going to be the guy, for that team and, continue to be. And you can see it. They actually do very well together. So Ayuk, DJ Moore, I think should do very well today. What up, Ron? Excited for Sunday Night Football tonight, not going to lie. Excited to see the Eagles versus the Cowboys. See, this is the only time in my life that I would probably root for the Cowboys just because I hate the Eagles more than the Cowboys. Which, actually, I don't know if that's even true. I hate both pretty equally. Usually I can get along with a Commanders fan because I hate both of those guys. But in this case, I just want to see it's one of those things where the Cowboys are slowly turning into like an underdog team. Like they've been to the playoffs so many times, but can't win. And I kind of just want them to get that win. No, I'm only kidding, Ron. Fuck the Cowboys. Yeah, no, I hate the Cowboys more than the Eagles, but I really don't like Nick Sirianni, honestly. Sirianni just pisses me off. He's that guy that just annoys me with like deep in my soul. I can put up with McCarthy and his dumb bullshit. And I like the Cowboys team, like, the general players that are on it and who's there, the who's who. Some of the guys on the and I hate the concept of the butt shove and all that bullshit. All those little, like, there's little aspects on both teams that I hate. And if I had to put it all together, if you had a gun to my head and said, which one do you like more? I'd have to just lean the Eagles just a smidge, but it's really close. It's not a quarterback sneak. It is not a quarterback sneak. A quarterback sneak does not involve 10 or 2 people behind him pushing him forward. It's such a bullshit play. It was outlawed for a reason, and they should have kept it out for years. They just took advantage of a system. And yes, they do it better than everybody else, but it is a shame when they get to the 1-yard line that that's all they can do. Anyway, I could have a debate about that for hours. Ray goes, Hall, Lockett, or Reed, full PPR. I'm going Hall here. They're going to lean on the run, and I'm okay with that. Texans are actually not that great against they're a lot better against the run the last 6 weeks. But I'm still I feel a lot better about that matchup just because of the weather. Lockett, I just don't trust. He's hurt. Geno's very banged up. Jaden Reed, I don't mind. I think it would really be between Hall and it would be between Hall and Reed. I'm going to lean the running back here. I usually tend to lean the running back in those scenarios just because it just, more consistent. There you go. I got another Giants fan right here. He goes, I'm in the Southwest, so fuck Dallas. Nice. That's what I'm here for. I know we could do it, but we don't do well at it. And no one does well at it. And Chris Collinsworth gets a hard on every time he talks about the freaking brotherly shove. So it makes me nervous to talk about. Because every time you bring up the brotherly shove, he just gets this big freaking Woody at the desk. And you sit there and you're like, come on, man. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Like, everyone knows it's happening and everyone can't stop it. It's just so annoying. They also have one of the best lines in the league. So I don't, that's part of why it works so well. Jalen Hurts is a pretty big dude considering, for a quarterback. If you look at him, he's built like a running back. So I understand why it works. I just hate it because one, I have Devontae Smith on my team. And anytime they get to he fell off. A couple weeks ago, I was in a game. All I needed was Devontae Smith to fall into the end zone, and I would have won. The guy freaking caught the ball on the 1 yard line and missed it. And of course, instead of giving it to the guy that got you all the way down to the freaking 1 yard line to begin with and try to make a play to give him the touchdown, no, let's just do the butt freaking shove. Ridiculous. I understand they got it, and it is what it is. But come on. It's such a bullshit call. Just sorry. I can go on about this. Sorry, Ron. Let's not make this a thing. I can make a whole show about that freaking play. Marcos goes Keaton Mitchell in bad weather or Khalil Herbert. I think I'm going to stick with Keaton Mitchell. They're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to spread it out. Gus Edwards is probably the better back for the Ravens, but I do think they're going to involve Mitchell a little bit more. Khalil Herbert, it's tough. They have a three-headed monster with Foreman, and it spreads the ball too thin, which basically means they eat into each other. And since they eat into each other, it makes things difficult. Ravens have the same thing, but game script basically says that they're going to pretty much run the ball the whole time. So, and that includes Lamar. Lamar is going to lead the team, and then he'll probably be the third. I think it's going to be the same for Chicago. So, yeah. And the funny thing is the Lions are 18th against the run. I can understand why people want to play them. But Keaton Mitchell's been doing okay lately. That's a really tough call right there. Really tough call. So Marcos goes, also, would you start Russell Wilson or Lamar in bad weather? Lamar is probably going to get more rushing yards and probably play better based on that. So his floor is so much higher than Russell's. So for me, I think it's okay to play Lamar, but he's the safer pick. I think Russell Wilson has the higher ceiling just because he'll have the ability to throw a little bit more. But I definitely think that Lamar has the better floor, which, I tend to play the floor more than the ceiling just because I want consistency. I want the steady amount of points. So for me, that's where I'm aiming. But right now I'm 12 points behind on one of my games. If I had this choice, I'm probably going to throw in Russell because I want to have a little bit more upside, more passing yards, because Russ can run the ball as well, but not as well as Lamar. Lamar's going to have a solid day. Maybe he gets probably 80 rushing yards and maybe 150 passing with maybe a touchdown or two. Rams have been playing a little bit better as of late. I'll go based on their running back numbers. They're 8th against the running back so far. And if you want to throw the QB numbers in there, they are 23rd. So if they can reduce the pass, they can pretty much keep Lamar bottled up, if you will. The Chargers against the pass, they've been doing better. They're 6th against the 6th best against QB recently within the last 6 weeks. So I get either way, but for me, I'm going to probably lean Lamar just to be safe. But also realize with the weather, it will cause, he could cause a fumble. But if you're playing both of them, Keaton Mitchell and Lamar, that's a little tough too. I would maybe diversify, but yeah, you have good picks either way. So I don't think you have the wrong pick, if you will. So Ron goes, okay, half PPR, Elijah Moore, Ridley, or Myers. Interesting. For me, it's between Myers and Moore. Ridley is a tough one for me. Ridley is a great receiver going against Cleveland. Cleveland does not have Denzel Ward today. So that's helpful. But Trevor Lawrence being hobbled, he's starting, which is huge. Why would you start one of your better assets? So he wouldn't play unless he was able to. My whole thing is that either way, even if Trevor is playing, it's going to hamper his play. Even a little bit, it's going to hamper it. But he's a better thrower than CJ Beathard. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the angles that he's going to want. So a lot of it is really the defense trying to adjust to those angles. So it's really hard for me to say a guy like Elijah Moore, who has only been good since Joe Flacco started. Flacco has a good relationship with him. Better pocket passer. Jaguars defense is a little bit more suspect on the outside. So for me, like I said, Myers sounds like the better option for me. Myers has the more touchdown upside out of all three of them, which is funny to say because the last 2 years prior he wasn't. But yeah, so that's kind of where I would be running right now is Myers and Moore. I think Ridley is a good floor play, but I like Moore a little more for a little bit more boom against the Jags defense. I mean, the point total, if I remember correctly, is low for this game. I have to double check my math here. Let me see the numbers. Yeah, 37 over under. Yeah. Yeah, I like Moore. Like, I don't hate him. I think he's a good choice for this week just because of the matchup and the quarterback that he has. Their weather is a little bit better too. So I'm definitely going to take a dome guy, and I don't mind taking the outside guy right here. So, yeah, I'd go Myers and Moore. If you were between Myers and Ridley, I think Myers is the better option. You know, I have a situation where I have to play either Nico Collins, Jacoby Myers, or Adam Thielen, and I'm going with Myers just because of the weather. The weather is going to throw me off today. And I'm going to probably hate myself for it. I'll probably see Nico Collins at the end of the game having like 190 for 9 and 2 touchdowns. Like, that's going to hurt me deep in my soul, but yeah. Oh, you just got to play one? I'm going to lean Myers. He's been coming into his own a little bit more. And if the team is smart, and if O'Connell was a little bit smarter, he would realize that most teams double team the number one guy. You throw them on one-on-one coverage. Vikings are actually pretty decent against the pass. You know, they're not crazy good. Let me see their numbers. I clicked the wrong one. Vikings are 13th against the pass, while Jags for the last 6 weeks have been, yeah. So I like that a little bit better. Just a smidge. Browns are actually 15th. So yeah, I'm still sticking with I'm going to stick to the first one. I think Myers is a good play today. But the better quarterback is Moore. So yeah, maybe it's between the two. I think those are the two you got to go with. I just don't know which one you got to roll with. That's a tough one. I would probably play Myers. Just he's been more consistent. So yeah, I think the team's going to lean on Jerome Ford today. I think that's my prediction. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to pretty much roll with Jerome Ford. It's his birthday. They're going to try to get him a little more involved. Cooler, a little bit breezy. Yeah. But Flacco's played in that. And he has a strong arm. So, yeah. I'm going to lean Myers. So this is an even tougher one. So sit one. Ew. Kamara, I'm playing. Done. Already playing Kamara against the Panthers. Even though Panthers have been slightly better against the run lately on defense, they've been actually pretty decent. They are 21st, which isn't horrible, but they're not great. So Kamara is definitely in the lineup. Vikings are 10th against the run. This is going to be a tough one. Where are they? Facing the Falcons, who are at the top, but I'm not sitting White. Ford I'm playing. I like the narrative today. I like Ford. I like Kamara. I like Jacobs. You're going to sit White, even though White has been white hot lately. Yeah. I think it's between White and Jacobs. And based on how things go, I think Jacobs you would probably sit, but I like Jacobs more than White. But that's just like a gut thing for me. White has been playing out of his mind lately, so it's hard to sit a guy like White. So yeah, I think you got to keep Kamara, you got to keep Ford because they have better matchups. Jacobs or White is tough. I think you're going to do well either way. But I'm going to lean. Yeah, sit White. You're not going to like it, but sit White. I think Jacobs, they're going to have to focus on it. They're coming off the bye week too. Yeah, sit White. They had a week to kind of get themselves settled. The last 2 weeks prior, they've been kind of rushing things. Now they've had a full week to kind of get under Antonio Pierce and get things kind of settled. Coming off the bye week, everyone's a little healthier. I'm gonna go with Jacobs to play. So drop White, or not drop, but sit White. George Play, what's going on, man? He goes Tua or Fields today. Well, and/or tomorrow. Both are in great scenarios. Both are great picks. I personally would stick with Tua just because Titans are really bad against the pass. As per the QB numbers, right now, Tennessee is currently 17th against the QB, while the Lions are 30th. Fields might be the better play when it comes to upside just because of his legs, and he definitely has the better floor. So I would definitely say Fields as the option here, actually. So I'm going to go Fields over Tua, even though Tua is probably the better quarterback as a thrower. But Fields with his legs he should rack up a little more. So I'm going to go Fields. I don't like it just because I hate having to say the word play Fields. I'd rather play Tua. But that's how I feel. Yeah, just play Fields. Fields is probably the better play here. But if you want to go with the narrative of the concept that anyone that I pick usually does worse than, you can go with that too. Did I put a bet in? I didn't put any bets in today, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be okay. Anytime I put a bet in for someone, it's always the opposite. So, yeah. What up, Patrick Lario? What's going on, man? He goes, yo, I clinched last place like 3 weeks ago. Why haven't been on much? It's okay, brother. He goes, but just wanted to come on and wish you and everyone else a happy holidays and appreciate everything you've done for me this year. We tried. Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate it. We always love having you here. I always love having you here. One of the few Giants fans. Actually, what I want you to do right now, Patrick, if you're still listening right at the moment, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. He is currently in Jersey, which I know for a fact. How is the weather in Jersey right now? I'm on Long Island. I'm getting good old rain. I haven't gotten the wind yet. Have you guys gotten the wind out there? Because I know for a fact that it's a little bit windy. My weather report at this point. Hold on one sec. My weather report. Hold on. Don't leave me. Please don't leave. Tell me the weather. I need to know the weather before you leave. Because what I get right now, 1 p.m. is 22-mile-an-hour winds, 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. at 1 p.m. Currently 14. Need to know. See, I knew it was going to come. Okay, so this is somebody that lives in New Jersey currently. Oh, you do too, Ron. I forgot about that. So some win, nothing crazy. Just took in the Christmas stuff. We're all getting light rain, heavy rain over where Patrick is. It's gross, people. It's gross. It's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a rough day. It's only going to increase. Man, I'm in this boat too, man. I'm in this boat too, Marcos. I have to, it's either sit one and it's either Nico Collins, Puka, or Derrick Henry, full PPR. I don't want to tell you to sit Nico Collins. I don't want to tell you to sit Puka. Both are in really bad weather scenarios. Derrick Henry's the better of the two in the context of weather, and they run the ball anyway. Yeah, so Patrick goes, my brother-in-law works for PSEG. He works, so PSEG is the electric company out here for those that aren't aware. But he's got to go in tonight, and I'm right across from the bay from Staten Island. Oh, okay, so you're right over where the Giants play anyway. Well, not, you're farther south, but you're right around there. So it's coming well. Get it first there. Snow on the backside. Yeah, so there should be a little bit of snow on the end. So yeah, that's crazy. Interesting. So back to Marcos's question is Nico Collins, Puka, or Derrick Henry? I'm going to sit Nico Collins, and I don't like saying that. I sat him in a bunch of my leagues. I'm playing Myers over Collins. I'm probably going to regret it, but I think it's worth it. I understand he's the number one option. I understand all of the other things around him as well. Like he's been on fire lately, and it's kind of hard to kind of put fire on the back burner. You know what I mean? Which maybe makes sense. But it's really hard for me to even want to do something like that. Puka's just been really well, doing well lately. That game is actually supposed to be wetter than the Jets game, believe it or not. So that's a tough one for me. I'm gonna go Collins. Yeah, damn, tough one. I knew it was coming though. Nice, that's awesome. Ronald, he goes half PPR, Zay Flowers or Drake London. I'm gonna have to say Drake London, man, and I hate Jake London. I don't like Drake London at all. Oh, here comes the rain. Getting downpours out east, man. Starting to get the wind too. I can see it right now, and it is blowing out there. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go Drake London. Drake London. I don't like it either. Dylan, what's going on, Dylan? Welcome to the show. I don't know if I've seen your avatar before, but welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already. What's up? He says. He goes both. Oh no, I do remember you. So yes, hi Dylan. Nice to see you again. He goes both full PPR. Got it. So Stroud against the Jets or Fields against the Lions. Fields against the Lions. Done. Boom. Moving quickly through this one. Pick one running back, Ford or Singletary. I'm going to go Ford. Been saying it all day. Oh, you have CEH in there. I'm still going to go Ford. I like Ford today. Jerome Ford, for those that are looking. Ronald goes, would you drop Godwin for Noah Brown when I already have Nico? No. Keep Godwin. He's fallen off a couple weeks, but keep Godwin. Patrick goes, okay, guys, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Enjoy. Good luck to whoever isn't in first time in 4 years. I'm not in, but I have a lot going on. Nasty divorce, so have to pay the attention. Haven't paid attention. Sorry, brother. I know how that is. It is what it is, but I completely understand. But yeah, just good luck, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas, my friend. Enjoy. So yeah. Yeah, no, definitely go London. I don't like it, but do London. Better scenario. Neanderthal goes, Schultz and Taysom Hill are out. Who should I pick up? Belvin Jordan, Otten, Johnson, or Conklin. I'm going to go Jordan. Wow. Sorry, the weather. No, they're going to have to check down. Belvin Jordan. They're going to have to check down a little bit. So I would definitely do that. I like him a little bit more than these guys. Maybe Juwan Johnson. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch my choice. Go to Juwan Johnson. He'll probably be a little bit more involved in this game going against the Panthers. He will have Jeremy Chin on him, so that's my only my only little caveat to him. But if the hard part is Derek Carr in that offense. They're going to have to keep it short and intermediate. I don't think he's healthy. I don't understand why they don't just roll out Jameson Winston. They have him for a reason. Why not play him? You have three of the better quarterbacks in the league, and you're not playing the best one of the three. Whatever. And honestly, and I'm only saying that because Carr's hurt. If they're all healthy, Carr is the better one. But Winston is the most healthy out of the group. He is better suited for the game. Throw him in. But whatever. Yo, that Atani deal. Yeah, bro. That shit's crazy. 10 years, $700 million. That's more than the freaking NFL salary cap times 2. So that's 2 NFL teams he makes more than, or he will be making more than. That's insane. He makes more than an NFL roster. 2 times an NFL roster, mind you. Ridiculous. I'm so glad it wasn't the Phillies. Yeah. You can get an ace and an all-star DH for, yeah. It's insane. And then you can get an entire 8 field for that. Oh yeah. It's absolutely insane the money he got. I've never seen something like that other than Judges, and Judges isn't even close to that. So it is insane to think that that's actually a thing right now. Like, that's unbelievable. But it is what it is. Nothing you can do about that. All right. Yeah, his deal was big, but not like that. Well, yeah, but Otani's a different player, man. He's a different player. Just all around. Crazy. So I brought up all these wonderful people for DFS. We're having a great chat other than doing DFS. So unless you guys want more DFS value picks, let me know. I might run through the rest of them, but there's not a lot. Russell Wilson was my main one. Russell Wilson was my main guy here. $7,400 going against the Chargers. I think he's a good play for today for DFS. Joshua Dobbs is another guy, $7,300. Gardner Minshew against the Bengals, $6,900. Baker Mayfield versus the Falcons, $6,800. Joe Flacco, not a bad play today as well. $6,400 going against the Jags. So funny little fun fact about my life. I have a guy that lives next door. Really nice guy, a little older. He keeps his lawn meticulously clean. And 2 minutes ago, it was raining, but not crazy wind. But he was outside with his blower, for his leaf blower to keep one leaf off of his grass. And all of a sudden, it downpoured. And all of a sudden, I started hearing that sound in the background. My wife just texted me and was like, I think he's outside blowing the leaves. I can't make this shit up. Can't make it up. All right, moving right along. Let's go over to the running back value picks for today. You can go with guys like Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Those are probably your best bet if you're looking to spend up on one of the running backs. But let's go a little bit lower on the scale, and let's go with guys like Chuba Hubbard right here versus the Saints, $6,700. Not a bad choice for today. Another guy is Zach Moss right above him at $6,800 going against the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this particular matchup a lot, and he's been getting the ball a ton. Cincinnati, you saw what Travis Etienne did to them. Bengals are 23rd against the run. Go with Moss, $6,800. So, what up, Rasta? How we doing on the West Coast? Enjoying a beautiful day out in sunny SoCal. You guys have it a lot better out there than we do right now. So, over here on the East Coast. Another good running back value play is Javonte Williams at $6,600 going against the Chargers. He's a good play today. Another guy that I like is Breece Hall for the price, $6,400. I know he's coming off the ankle injury, but overall, not a bad matchup for him. They have been doing a little bit better, but I think he's not a bad play. My favorite pick today, Jerome Ford, $6,300. I think he should be played in all your lineups. Alexander Madison going against the Raiders, $6,200. They've been leaning on him a lot more since Cam Akers went down. He's been doing pretty well. If you don't want to pay for, I'm not going to say Dameon Pierce, but instead I'm going to tell you Devin Singletary at $5,800. He's a good choice as well. I think they're going to involve him a lot today in the passing game. Unfortunately, FanDuel tends to be half PPR, so it's not heavily involved with the pass, with receptions. So it's kind of hard to trust. But $5,800 for this type of matchup. Like I said, bad weather, dump off. I think they're going to have to lean on Singletary a little bit more today. Roschon Johnson isn't a bad one. I don't have him. Oh, I do have him listed. Going against the Lions. This could be a positive and or negative game script, but they've been using him a lot more as the lead back comparatively. I understand that Deontay Foreman was out last week, but they are leaning a little bit more on Johnson lately. So $5,700, not a bad choice if you're looking for a little bit lower running back on the pay scale. Next is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So you could either go with Helaire here or Jerick McKinnon. McKinnon is 53 or Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 55. It's really more based on your preference and what you think that game is going to be, the negative game script or positive game script, based on your thought process on how the Chiefs will do or fare against the Bills. I think, and they said they're going to split the workload. I think it's going to be mostly just Clyde running with Clyde doing first, second down with McKinnon on third downs or passing downs. So we'll wait and see. But those are the two choices. They're actually dirt cheap, so why not? All righty, let's roll with the wide receivers. Justin Jefferson back at the top, back in today versus the Raiders. Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans, those four guys are great choices today. But let's go down to better affordable options, as one would say. We got Cortland Sutton today going against the Chargers. I like him a lot today. He is probably one of my biggest values at $7,200. Next is Jacoby Myers. We just talked about him a few minutes ago. $6,900 going against Minnesota. I think this is a good play today. I think he'll do well. Not just because I'm forced to play him. Not forced, but not because of just the fact that I have to play him today. I think he's going to actually do very well today. In the Dome facing Minnesota, I think that's a great matchup for him. Another guy I like is actually Adam Thielen against the Saints. You don't have Marshawn Lattimore there. Things are a little bit different. So it's underwhelming what he's done the last few weeks. Hopefully they get him a little more involved. They're in a dome. This could be a better scenario for him. So I like Adam Thielen a little bit today. Drake London is another guy that I unfortunately like, and it's really only because of the price point and the matchup. I'm not saying to play him. I'm just saying he's a good value. If you're looking to play somebody at that price point that you can't find, I think he's not a bad value. Drake London is actually one of the few that I like today, even though I don't like Drake London as a whole. I don't like the offense. I don't like the whole thing. But Tampa doesn't have Jamal Dean. Their defense is kind of, Okay, there's a reason I care about domes. If you've seen the production in bad weather, it's never good, and it's a risk, especially for the wide receiver and the running or the quarterback, not for the running back. So another guy I like is Elijah Moore today at $6,200 versus the Jags. We talked about this before. Moore has a good matchup playing better or playing pretty well with Joe Flacco. Then we got Chris Godwin, I think, is a good play today. AJ Tyrell is out of concussion protocol and off the injury report. So this kind of makes it where, in this case, you're going to see a little bit less coverage on Godwin, more coverage on Evans. So this could be a good pivot point too. I think, going to Chris Godwin might be a good play for DFS. Another guy I like is DJ Chark. We just got news 2 minutes ago about the concept that Terrace Marshall is inactive again. They've been leaning on Chark a little bit more for the down the field. Mingo's also not a bad choice, but a little bit cheaper for DJ Chark. Actually, they're both kind of around the same price, but I don't mind Chark or Mingo today. Mingo is at $5,500. So yeah, like both guys today for DFS. Moving right along, let's go to the tight ends for DFS value. Ooh. So Ron's asking Rasta, how does he feel about the Moore and Myers? Yeah, I think it's definitely between the two there, Ronnie. So Taysom's out. So you got Laporta, Hawkinson, Travis Kelce in here right here. I'm going to go a little bit lower than that. I call it the Schultz median line right here. One of my favorite picks right now is Cole Kmet. Price point $5,600 going against Detroit. Detroit's been beat against the tight end a couple times. David Njoku at $5,500. That's another one that I like a little bit more. But if you want to spend a little bit less, Brevin Jordan, good choice at $5,000. Damn, it is coming down out here. I'm surprised you guys can't hear it through the window. It is coming down, raining pretty bad. So just be aware. Defensive picks for DFS. Now, this one is going to be a little bit controversial. These two are going to be a little controversial. And that's fine. That's what I'm here for, is to find you guys some of those picks that people might not find. So you got the Bears at the bottom. You got the Rams at the bottom. Bills, Denver. Okay, let's take a look a little bit higher. Carolina Panthers today against the Saints. Now, I bring this up because, like I said, Derek Carr has been playing hurt the last few weeks. He's susceptible to turnovers. So is Winston. Carolina's been better defense recently. Just got back a whole bunch of guys that have been doing well. J.C. Horn is back. They got Jeremy Chin back, Gross Matos. A lot of the parts of their defense that really help them. Panthers are a good price point, $3,900. Team below them as well, Cleveland Browns, going against Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is going to be hobbled, and it's going to limit him. He's going to make mistakes. Cleveland Browns, I like a lot here too. So these are two good teams at good price points that I like a lot today. So Neanderthal goes, I picked up the Jags defense for Buffalo's bye. Should I stick with them this week or go back to Buffalo? I see on the wire is Minnesota, Atlanta, or Denver. Denver isn't a horrible choice. I like Denver a little bit today. But I think that you kind of have to stick with the Jags. I think Jags going against Flacco should be a decent game. Jags do better against pocket passers than they do against a guy that runs out of the pocket. Josh Allen is an animal. And Trevon Walker is actually very good on the other side as well. For me, I feel a little bit more comfortable with the Jags D. If you had to go with another choice with those that you have available, the Minnesota, Atlanta, or Denver, I would probably lean maybe Minnesota coming off the bye. But I like the Jags D. I don't think you really have to do much there. So Ron agreeing that Winston is a turnover machine. I agree. Will Hayes, what's going on, Will? Glad to have you here. He goes, David Montgomery or Devon A-Chain, PPR. I think for PPR, you got to go A-Chain. And I believe me, Montgomery is probably one of my favorite running backs this year, just in general, just because I got him at a really low value. So I think I might lean A-Chain here, even though I really like Montgomery. I think I would probably rank Montgomery higher, but I would play A-Chain. Better matchup. They're going to use him on the outside. He's fast. They're not going to use him up the middle. They're going to definitely scheme to be on the outside for a lot of this game, and he lives in that outside. So I'm going to go A-Chain. And no, they're not coming off the bye. Bye was in week 10. So, yeah. And Rasta agrees. Once in a while, we agree, and that's one of them. Just getting word that Micah Parsons is going to be on the injury report. He has an illness, but he is expected to play. So he will be there. Just getting word Joe Flacco is going to be the guy that starts, definitive, whatever. Like, come on. Can't make that decision like right before the game. Come on. Ridiculous. All righty. So those are my DFS value picks. Those are all my other stuff. We gave away our wonderful ring to our good buddy Neanderthal. So Neanderthal ended up winning this wonderful Get Right 1,000 subscriber giveaway giveaway ring. Really happy for him. So thanks to the guys at TrophySmack.com. You are getting that. Also, they have wonderful things like this wonderful belt that you can customize for your league. Trophies as well. Chains. You can do it all. So make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com and make sure you guys use promo code GETRIGHT. And when you do, they will help you at checkout. Also, make sure you guys check out these other really cool things from our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys check out. For new subscribers, you have this new customer special for Pick'em. It's 0.5 total yards for Dak Prescott. So make sure you guys take advantage of that today. They have their Pick'em contests. Double your first deposit. Use promo code GETRIGHT when you do it. When you register, they're going to help you out with those two things as well. They also have best ball tournaments all year. They do their own little best ball thing as well during the week. So check them out. Promo code GETRIGHT, and they will double your first deposit. So check out UnderdogFantasy.com. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcasts as well, the Fantasy Frontline podcast, the Checkdown podcast, as well as the Dead Zone Fantasy Show. So make sure you guys check those out. Check out these nuts. So he goes, really, Myers? Okay, you're the tiebreaker. It's on you now. Yeah, I think I might swing Myers there, big guy. I like Myers. Neanderthal goes, thank you for all your advice today and every week, Mike. And the ring. Whoop, whoop. Good for you, man. Love it. Really happy for you guys. Really happy for Neanderthal. Couldn't have picked a better guy. So, I mean, well, he won it out of random chance, but still really happy he won it. So thank you all for joining me today. I'm going to be wrapping this show up right now. Please make sure you guys have your lineup set. Make sure you guys take an extra couple minutes to get your lineup set and right for today. We want to make sure you guys have the best Week 14. Good luck to everybody in their matchups. I know that this week is going to be a tough one, but it's going to be one of the better ones. A lot of people are trying to get into the playoffs this week. So good luck to everybody. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. Frank might not be here. I think it's just going to be Rasta. Frank is enjoying a wonderful vacation. So shout out to Frank. Hope he's having a great time. Sitting by the pool, Ron says. Good luck to the Eagles, baby. So they're angry. They want to win. So we'll see. So good luck to everybody today, except against me. I hope everyone has a wonderful Week 14. We will be seeing you guys on Monday. Rasta will be here to help you guys with overreactions and waiver targets on Monday. And then back on Wednesday as well. So make sure you guys are here to check out the show. We will be back, of course, on Friday night as well. So hope to see everybody soon. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend. Good luck. So for Rasta, for Dustin, for good old Frank sitting by the pool, I hope everyone has a wonderful Week 14. We will see you soon. Peace.
Fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go